What's up,
Welcome
everybody?
back. That was perfect timing. We both went live at the same exact time, man. You don't see that often.
I know, I went with your countdown that you had there.
That's too funny, man. What's up? Good to have you.
Oh man, it's well, it is technically a fam chat, everybody. It's just less fam today.
Yeah, we got me
So
and Brad in the building today, but potentially some other people popping in. We had
yeah,
some last minute cancellations, unfortunately.
well, Dennis is at the beach, and that's offensive because he didn't even invite any of us at all. None of us got an invite to the beach. But Dennis is at the beach. Kofi's not feeling well, so send all your love to Kofi. He's not feeling well. Travis might join in. We hadn't heard anything from
The
Brother
rest of the
Sam.
guys.
I feel like my thumbnail on this is so misleading because it's like everybody's picture. So people are gonna be like, "Oh man, there's only two of you."
Hey,
But
you know what? We got me, you, and Silk Sonic right here.
yeah, that's right. That's right. You know what? I don't know what everybody believes out there, but me and Jacob are Christians, and the word says where two or three are gathered. Where two or three are gathered, he's in our midst. And here we are,
Preach.
Jacob.
Preach.
The
Preach.
Fam Chat Sermon Edition.
I'm
It's what
down
you
for
get when it's what you get when it's just me and Jacob. You
I
get
love it.
preached to.
What's up, man? I want to hear about this new topic we were talking about before we started. You said that you were learning or working on managing your time. And I
Yeah.
want to hear
Uh,
about that. I'm excited to hear it.
Well, the last fam chat we did, we talked about how like you could start to feel like you're kind of drowning in the, uh, you know,
Always
stuff
playing
that you
behind the
got to
eight ball
do.
kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So after that, I was like, I talked to my wife about it. I was like, I need to just stop making excuses and like set out a set like schedule and you know work it around the dog and when he's going to be asleep, like whatever.
Mm.
So I've the last couple weeks been really good. Always my goal is to be a day ahead
Hmm.
and have stuff ready for the next day, ready to go, so that it doesn't like so that I don't wake up in the morning and think like, well, crap, I got to hurry and film something, you know. So and I've been able to get my workouts in and edit videos in the morning to kind of get ready for the day. It's so it's been much more productive time over the last couple of weeks
That's
here
amazing, man. I'm pumped
for
to
me.
hear that
Not
for you.
not just on the channel, but just in life, being kind of more on top of things and not, you know, just sitting around waiting on, the absolute crunch time to get here.
I hear you.
So
That's
we
great,
all get
man.
we all get into that sometimes, though.
For real. I
What's
just
been going on with you?
I just retitled our chat to catching up with Brad Steele because it seems like it might be me and you for the
Yeah,
next little bit.
yeah. I'm gonna just change. Well, but then I have to change the thumbnail.
That's true. Mislead. It'll be clickbait.
I'm just gonna put fam chat time parentheses. It's just me and Jacob.
Nah, there you go. We actually have some good questions in the chat for you, Brad. Do you
Okay.
use any apps to help you be more productive?
No, I really don't. I just like I thrive on like routine.
Oh my gosh, me too,
Like
man.
like I need to know like okay from 9 to 12 I'm going to be doing this, and from 12 to 3 I'm going to be doing this, and from like like that's kind of how I like to view things. And so like it's Wednesday, so like I have church tonight. So like when we get done with this, I'm going to grab lunch and but I like even in routine, like I even throw in like the stuff that's not like work related in there too, because it's like I'll even be like, hey, from 3 to 4 I'm gonna watch my Netflix show.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna find time to do that, which is
Yeah.
currently watching Better Call Saul, if anybody's ever watched that. But yeah, so I just kind of have to think of it like that in my mind, because that's what was happening is over the last couple of months I had no routine. It was
Mm.
like, okay,
Hmm.
and that's kind of where all the garbage started to kind of file in, because it was like, okay, so I'm just gonna wake up and whatever happens happens. And that's like, I can't do that.
Dude, I relate to that so much, especially when I stopped filming as many reactions as I was and started
Yeah.
focusing a lot more on my own music. It completely shifted my routine, and I
Yep.
just was, one, wasting so much time, and two, just filling time with junk, and it was not healthy for me
Yeah.
mentally.
That and
So
that's for me. So like watching my show on Netflix or whatever show I'm watching on Netflix. Like I'm cool if I can like have a set time to do it. Like instead of just being like, well, I've been sitting here for 5 hours watching this show. Like if
yeah,
I could set aside, be like, okay, this time right here, I can do that.
yeah,
Because like I said, if I get out of a routine, then I look up one day and I'm like, why am I stressed and anxious? Like, oh,
mm-hmm.
probably because I haven't been in my routine at all. I haven't had a routine.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
I hear you, man. I totally, and that's a big revelation when you realize, oh, all I have to do is re-implement my routine. It's like I'll be feeling healthy again.
yeah. And
So
like it does good for me, like sometimes to have like usually Sunday is that day for me where like I don't have a set schedule.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
cool
yeah,
to have like a day
yeah,
where it's just like, okay, I'll just do whatever I want.
yeah.
Like if I'm on vacation, of course, then there's no
Sure.
schedule. But as far as like day to day during the week, I gotta have some kind of order
I
and
hear you, man.
stuff.
I totally hear you. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh man, I relate to
especially
that.
with something like a YouTube channel. If you're not disciplined with your time, it's definitely gonna get away from you. It's
Yeah,
absolutely gonna get away from
yeah. I kind of relate to that right now, in sense of like, I don't know what to post anymore. Like I feel like all I'm posting are vlogs and shorts.
you.
Because
Yeah,
I'm like, I've moved almost completely out of reaction videos, one here and there, every once in a while. But like, that first of all don't do well for the channel anymore. Like they just, to some degree,
uh,
not even worth it. It's like they
yeah,
get like 200 views, 300 views, and it's like, and then and then partly the branding aspect of it. Like I'm trying to move away from that branding. So like I'm like, well, what else do I post? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's really interesting. That's why I'm trying to do more and more of like me going out there and like playing my music or stuff like that. Um,
Right.
so I don't know, man. If you got
Well, the
any
thing
ideas, please
about
share them.
well, the reaction stuff is like because I talked about this recently. I don't know if I talked about it on Fam Chat, but it's like you get to the point where you sit here and you're like, okay, like home free's awesome, and I don't know what else I can say. Like I've listened to everything they put out over the last 3 years, and yes, they're great, and I could sit here and tell you how great they are, but you could go find 15 other videos where I'm telling you how great they are.
Hmm.
It's like I don't really know what to bring to the table.
Hmm.
It's gonna be so. I started trying to do this new thing because everybody loves nostalgia. I've introduced a new segment called "Does It Hold Up?"
Hmm.
and I go back and I check out. It doesn't have to be music; it can be television, movies, whatever. You go back, check it out, and then you ask, "Does it still hold up today?" And got a whole new intro graphic made for it and everything. And so, kind of trying that out, just kind
That's
of
cool.
do something different, and trying to. My goal every day is to post something because I'm kind of in that same boat as you. I'm trying to post something other than reactions every day. Like I post a reaction, but I also try to post something different that's
Hmm.
not just reaction, whether it's a vlog or a song
And your
or
vlogs are doing quote unquote decent in the sense of like, well, yes, we say we have 100 and whatever many thousand subscribers, and they get 200 views. It's frustrating, but when you do think about it, it is two or 300 people that are watching about your life. Like in that,
sure.
when you look at that perspective, it's like, oh, that's actually kind of wild, right?
Right, I agree. Yeah, I
So
did. So yesterday, because like you said, sometimes you just don't know what to post.
yeah.
Yesterday, I was like, dude, I want to post something that's not a reaction. Like, so what can I do that people would
What
even
can you
remotely
learn
care
about
about?
a dog that's afraid to poop on the grass?
Yeah, and so I was thinking about what could I say that could just be like an encouragement to people, like that could be like something to lift somebody's spirit. And I had been thinking about because it rained here yesterday. So I was thinking about how my dog hates going to poop in the grass. And I thought
Hmm.
about that story from a
Where
few
does he
weeks
poop?
ago. Well, he does now. After that story I told yesterday, it takes him a little longer. Like he's got to work up the courage
Uh
to
huh.
do it. It's like jumping into the deep end. He's got to like still kind of muster up the courage, but
Where
he
else would he
does
do
it
it though? In the house or like on the pavement?
No, and he would not do it in the house, which is a good thing. He was like, that's not an option. Can't do it in the house. So he would just hold it.
Oh, geez,
and that was even worse because you could tell like he was hurting, you know, and he needed to go, but like he just was saying, I guess he was saying, I'd rather hold it than go in the wet grass. And then there was one incident he had where he finally couldn't hold it anymore, and he went in the house. But since then, he's figured it out. But I was talking about this story yesterday, and I was like, man, let me just because what happens is, I don't know if your wife does this, but my wife watches a lot of vloggers on YouTube, and it's people that I don't watch. I mean, they're great. I just, it's not the type of thing I usually go watch, but she watches them at night before she goes to sleep. So we'll be laying in the bed, and I just kind of listen to like what they're doing. And I'm like, okay, let me just hear what they're talking about. And they're just like, they're just like, hey, I went to Walmart today, and this is what happened when I went to Walmart. And I'm like, how do you start getting people to like watch that? Because like it's like thousands upon thousands of views, And I'm like, man, I would give anything to be able to just post like what I have for lunch, and people just come in droves.
It is so interesting. There's so many factors, man. I feel like to some degree. One is sometimes it's quality of content. Like some of them are really good at video editing. Some of them are really not though, and sometimes it's just personality or relatability. Like if you like talking like the Peter McKinnon's kind of thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of that guy, but he's like a phenomenal videographer.
Right.
But then you have like somebody that's like. I don't know. I just somebody off the top. I don't know off the top of my head, but like they're not the best editor, and it's filmed on their iPhone. But it's just they love their personality, or there's so who knows? I really don't totally know. I mean, but then granted, like still like when we first started, I was getting like 16 views on my vlogs. So when you look at that perspective, 16 views to 200 or 300 consistently.
Yeah, you'll take it.
Yeah,
it's community.
Exactly. One day at a time.
Yeah,
one day at a time.
And that's the kind of thing that I've got to get through my head, and I know you deal with this too. Is it's like it's literally you can post anything, and just what's the worst that could happen? Like we've all had videos flop, so we know what that feels like. So when the worst thing could happen is it'll flop, but I'm always sitting there like, oh, I can't post that. Nobody will care. It's like, then I have to like argue with myself. I'm like, just post it. Like, if they don't care, then whatever, delete it later, like whatever you want to do. Yeah. But like, it can't hurt to put it out there.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of like, but yet you're still sitting here like, cause this is we do have income from this. So you want to post something that's going to do all right.
Oh my gosh, dude. I think my income has dropped a full 80% since the item. Like, yeah, it's insane. There's so many different factors, though. Like, YouTube, there's so many factors. YouTube not promoting these type of videos anymore. Not as many people watching videos as much anymore. The fact that, like, there's a potential recession, so companies are actually spending less on ad revenue. So that pays, there's so many different things, like, that it's just a whirlwind. And, it's fine because I'm starting to get gigs and stuff that are covering that, that income. But, like, my actual YouTube income has dropped, like, 80%. It's crazy.
Yeah, mine is, and again, thank God I have other methods of income, too. But mine was still hanging in there. Mine was still about what it was. And then this month has been a big drop off.
Really?
And some of that's because I was lazy in posting at the start of the month, but some of it's just due to all that stuff you said. So, I mean, I'm grateful that I never got into YouTube to make money anyway. So I'm grateful if I get $20, but
it is still pretty crazy. Like when we think about it, at first, like we were talking thousands before, and now even we're talking still hundreds. It's like it's still pretty remarkable if you think about it.
Yeah, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know what I'm excited for though, bro? Did you see about my concert that I'm gonna be doing?
I did. I saw that.
Oh shoot, man, I'm pumped.
trying to get 100 tickets in person and then 1,000
Yeah,
or
about
900
900 online.
to equal 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the goal, bro.
Wow.
We'll
I'll tell you
see.
what. Again, it's like, what's the worst that could happen? Like,
You know, it's funny, man. That's such the right perspective because, like, I'm not nervous about performing. I'm more nervous about selling tickets.
yeah,
Like, and not that I even have to. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if I sell 300 tickets, I'm still like it's not like there's a minimum that I need to sell. It was just a literal goal I set in my head, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But part of me was like embarrassed about whether or not, like, oh, if I didn't sell these tickets, like, people would think it's stupid, kind of, or I'm stupid for like trying to set out for that goal. But then I realized yesterday,
right.
I'm like, the fact that this is even a conversation of even
Yeah,
trying to sell 1,000 tickets is insane.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I
Like the
know.
fact that it's even a conversation at this point. You know,
Well,
2 years
that's
ago, it
it's
wouldn't even been a conversation. It would have been, hey, can we sell 4 tickets? You know?
yeah. Well, I mean, and think about even the conversation we just had. Like, we're talking about our income from YouTube. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
like a couple of years ago, I would have been like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'd give anything to make any money on YouTube," you know.
Exactly, man.
And
Perspective is everything.
now we're sitting here like, "Oh man, my income's down."
Yeah,
You
legit,
know,
bro.
it's like, dude, it's still meaningful
It's
income
so true.
that's coming in. You know,
It's so
especially
true.
if you're people like Travis and Michael Benraji who've mastered Patreon.
Yeah.
Dang it, that's the one thing I'm still trying to find time to work in is to figure out how to get because I did I wanted to try to find like a TV series to watch, to go back and watch through. And man, it's hard to get that new stuff started when you've got other stuff that is established and
Mm.
works. So
Mm.
I'm trying. It's almost like there's just too much to try to get to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's so interesting. But and well, I don't think this is a really, I think, important conversation to have, and I think we've talked about it every once in a while. But like, how hard it is to convert people to do things, and you know,
Yeah.
converting is like a very, I don't know if people use that word often. So when we like conversions is not like changing faith, you becoming Christian.
Right. Right.
A conversion is when like you ask somebody to do something and they do it. Whether it be like, hey, click this link, or hey,
Yeah.
buy this book, or hey, watch this video. That's considered a conversion if they actually
Yeah.
do it. So no matter how many subscribers or followers or anything you have, converting those people to do something is a totally different situation,
Yep.
and it's
And you
really more.
can't. It's almost like you have no control over it. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes.
And it's really more about the community you have than the actual size of the community. Like the depth of the community is. You could have 1,000 people that, like, the difference would be like 1,000 people versus 100,000 people. If you have 100,000 people that are kind of really kind of wishy washy versus 1,000 people that are really devout, it's
Yeah.
it's wild, man.
Yeah.
It's so
And
wild.
and you gotta, like we said, you gotta just surrender to the fact that sometimes it's just stuff that's out
Hmm.
of your control.
Hmm.
Like you can literally say, "Hey, I'm posting a new song tomorrow," and people will
Hmm.
be like, "Great, I can't
Hmm.
wait." But then if that same person gets sidetracked with work or
Yeah.
it doesn't pop up in their recommended, so they forget about it.
Yeah.
Like you have no control over that,
Yeah.
and so you just have to, I guess, just keep plugging away. But
It's so true, bro. It's so
but
true.
yeah, especially like now, I talk about stuff we don't have control over. My channel came along right in the middle of quarantine,
Yeah.
and so like everybody was at home.
Yeah.
Everybody had all kinds of time to watch YouTube.
Yeah.
And I absolutely think there's been a difference since everybody kind of went back to work, went back
Oh,
to school.
100%.
And I'm not complaining. Like, I'm glad everybody's back to what they need to be doing. But like, you're still sitting here saying, "Man, used to be a lot easier than this." I used to look over my week of uploads. I was like, "Man, those did great. All those videos did great." Now I'm like, 2 of them did really well.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Oh
Did
my
all right.
gosh.
Did all right.
Yeah. How's that new song doing, man?
It's doing good. People seem to like it, and you know, it's one of those things. I mean, it's different from some of the other stuff I've done, but
So,
it seems,
when you go to do you have like a publishing deal? Is that what like with your is that what you do with songwriting all the time?
To some degree, like I'm a part of a songwriting group but it's just for Christian music.
But do
Um,
they pitch it to like Christian artists, or how does that work?
yeah, I mean they help you kind of pitch it to people, and which is still very hard
Yeah.
to do.
Again,
But
conversions.
yeah, and sometimes stuff that's out of your control, and it's like you just catch somebody on the wrong day, and they don't even want to listen to it. But
Yeah.
that song was just this guy in Nashville that I actually wrote it when I was there to hang out with you and Dennis. I went by his house before I went and met y'all.
That was a song you wrote.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why, because I remember you saying that you were meeting him, man.
Yeah, that was that day before I met you guys. And he's, great musician. He's got a studio, in his house. And so, well, we wrote it that day, but I went back weeks later and kind of started putting together an arrangement and, so.
Bro, speaking of which, we gotta release that other track that you and I wrote like 10 years ago. The wedding one.
Oh yeah, I wanted to revisit that one and change a few things.
Me too, but I was like, when you played it after you got married on YouTube, I was like, shoot, this is actually way better than I thought it was.
Yeah, so what happened with that, I came in after the wedding, after we got back and everything, and I sat down, I was doing a piano track that I was going to send to you, and I was singing through it, and I was like, man, there's some better lyrics than these that we can come up with.
Agreed.
So that's when I texted you. I was like, it's not the whole thing, it's just like a couple lines.
Yeah, agreed.
So I sent it. I ended up not even sending you piano track because I was like, we got to fix these lyrics first anyway. So I was like, let's just do that. So that needs to be next on the agenda, I guess.
Yeah, but even still, though, I was just impressed with, minus those lines. I was like, shoot, some of these things are actually pretty good. I don't remember how it goes at all, actually.
No, I don't either. I don't either.
But I was impressed. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. That's probably, well, I guess the last one that we actually wrote was the Christmas one.
Oh, I've been thinking about that one a lot actually lately.
Yeah,
that's what makes it feel like Christmas.
You know what I thought I almost did.
Christmas in July.
Last year.
I remember
my church does a Christmas Eve service every year, candlelight Christmas Eve service.
Not what I thought. Never mind. Sorry.
And like I lead the music there, so like I have to come up with what all's going to be in the service. I thought about singing that song at the Christmas Eve thing, but I didn't because we didn't have enough time. But I was gonna.
Oh shoot!
It kind of had that. Kind of those hits in there.
Very 80s chorus.
What was the chorus? I remember picking out the tree, watching movies with the family. That's a good one. I think lyrically, either that one or "Let 'Em Roll" is my favorite we've written, because "Let 'Em Roll" I feel like is really strong too. But I love that Christmas song.
Yeah, I don't think about "Let 'Em Roll" often enough.
All of the people that we spend it with, that's what makes it feel like Christmas.
Bum 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 bum
Yeah.
bum bum.
That's when you like. That's like the finale of the Hallmark Christmas movie right there.
Bro, it's a good. We gotta pitch that song out. Get some sync deals with it.
I would love to.
Hey, this is a cool question from Action Reaction. What are some lessons you've learned from collaborating with each other? That's a cool.
You go ahead. That's a good question.
Bro, it's like compliment me first. Compliment me first.
Yeah. Well, you talking about just me and Jacob, or everybody like in the fam chat, or are they talking about music, or are they just talking about you two?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
I have no idea.
Somebody just ordered tickets online for the concert. Oh, I appreciate
that. Nice.
That's exciting. That's a good question. What have we learned?
If you're talking about songwriting, the thing that I always find fascinating about writing with different people is, and that includes you and everybody, it's like just the way people think is so different. And so the way that like a lyric that somebody would think of that you're like, I would have never thought of that. Like, you know, you come like if you come out of one writing session and go to another, it's totally different vibes at both sometimes just because the way people process and kind of like come up with stuff. Because some people like come up with the chord structure first, then a melody. Some people do the opposite. I always find songwriting so fascinating in that way. Is like how different people come up with stuff.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, one thing I probably learned from you is how, quote unquote, I think simple you make it. Like you don't overthink it. You just like start writing lyrics, and if you don't like them, you just scrap them and you start with new ones. Like sometimes, no, which is cool because sometimes I'm like, you know, totally overthinking the lyric. You know what I mean? And sometimes that can ruin the song. You know, and like.
See, that's interesting because I would have said the same thing, vice versa.
Really?
I would have said I overthink the lyric, and you simplify it.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. There you go. Well, back to we think differently.
Yeah.
Bro, this is getting me a pump. We totally got to do the songwriting session soon.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, that song's gonna be in my head all day.
I know, man. That's a good. I think we need to take a quick listen to that song really quick.
Did Owen? Oh, I don't know where Owen's been. He hasn't been on YouTube, but didn't he play on that?
I think so. That's what makes it feel like Christmas. Let's see what we got, man. Yeah, this song's a bop, bro.
Christmas in July, everybody.
Can you hear it?
Not very good.
Yeah, me neither.
There it is.
Bro, this is so good. The harmonies. Can you hear it, Brad?
Yeah.
Watching movies with the family. Hot chocolate by the fireplace. While we listen for Santa.
So good, man.
It's the love filling up the house. Helps me remember what it's all about. All of the people that we spend it with. That's what makes it feel like Christmas.
Those drums sound killer. Yo, this is stinking well written, bro. I haven't listened to this probably since Christmas, though. Bro, this is a good song. We should shoot a music video for this song, for this Christmas. Yeah, that rock. Coldplay right here, the Fix You. This is a banger. You got the key change coming up, right?
Yeah.
Yo, this is killer, man.
Hot chocolate by the fireplace. While we listen for Santa's sleigh.
3, 4. You hear those ahs? Ah! That's high, bro. Ah! Ah! Wait, is that you or me doing that? Oh, man. Ooh! Ending with that sus2 chord, right? Is that what that... No. Do you hear it? Right? What key is it in? G or B flat?
It ends in C after it key change.
I think that is. It's like a. What chord is that?
Feels like a C7.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's a C major 7. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a good song, bro.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Somebody responded, "It's snowing in my room all of a sudden."
Even
Shoot,
though it's
man.
like 80,000 degrees.
Oh my gosh, what's the what like by you in right now?
It is it's like 92, 93.
Yeah, it's so absurdly hot, man.
Yeah.
It's so crazy hot. That's crazy. Oh shoot, man, that's a good song. Isn't it funny? Like, you just never know what's gonna be a good song or not. You know,
I know.
like you just write and write and write, and you never know what's gonna be good in the end.
Yeah, I love that tune.
Yeah, it's so funny. Hey, I see somebody else just bought a ticket too.
Hey-o, the tickets are selling. All it took was a 2-person fam chat.
Sam Sultani says, "Is that a Kobe? Is that a signed Kobe jersey, game worn, or just a regular jersey?"
It's just a regular jersey.
Hey, you know it's still pretty cool though.
Yep.
All right, bro. Well, both of us only had a limited time today, so we're gonna have to get together and do a little songwriting session real soon.
Yeah, we'll plan it.
And we'll do "That's What Makes It Feel Like Summer Freedom."
Yeah, I love how we wrote a song about summer, but we're listening to the Christmas song in the middle of July.
It's a bang. Well, you know, I literally haven't listened to that one since Christmas.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Good stuff,
It's
man.
a
Well,
good
it's
one.
always a pleasure chatting, Brad.
Thanks everybody that tuned in on either channel. I know this is right in the middle of a work day, so people are working and busy, but you can always watch this later. If you're watching this on the replay, shout out to you, and we'll have another fam chat with more of us, hopefully
Absolutely.
soon, and be on the lookout on both of our channels for new stuff.
100%. Hey, peace out, fam.